Welcome to More Love, More Life podcast. Today, I'm going to take you down memory lane. We're talking about the trauma that has been affecting our neighborhood. Today, echoes of my innocence. I'm going to tell you how I lost it, and now I'm regaining it. So we're going to talk today, about 1979, when there was a murder in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
How old was you?
Man, 7, I was 4 years old.
Oh, man.
3.
Okay. So you don't even remember this.
I don't remember much when I was
You was
3.
4 years old. How can you remember?
Nah, some people be remembering, but nah, I can't remember.
But you know what? What we're talking about is how it affects you and you don't see it.
Mm.
Because the karma that runs around the neighborhood, we never pay attention to that. But this murder was a young man that was 16 years old. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Me, myself, was 11 at the time. But the guy got murdered in another neighborhood. And this what caused the division of, again, black race, but all these was gangs that was considered Hoover sets. And it was another set that murdered him. Because within that time, someone got shot. He went to their neighborhood and they got into a fight. And they came out and they shot the man. Well, the kid. He was only 16.
Right.
But this was the 9-0s. And the 9-0s and them, I guess, was considered, homies at the time.
Right.
But to go into details of it, when he got murdered, I remember how we talked about it. And it had such a profound impact on me at 11 years old. And I was wondering, what could somebody do at 16 to take a bullet? But the people around me talked about it like he was a hero. And now that I look back, I can see how that changed me because that took the kid out of me where I was thinking, I was in pain. I was like, how could this guy get murdered? But I remember my daddy saying, yeah, that boy was crazy. And he wasn't using crazy as a bad term. He was using crazy as a term of endearment. So that changed me to think, if they looking at this as a good thing, then we must be meant to die young. You see what I'm saying?
Like they was basically glorifying it.
Right.
Like while you hurting and you in pain, you like, man. So how did it? Because if they are, so how did it immediately change you? Yeah, how did it not change you? But yeah, how did it affect you?
Yeah, it changed and affected me that day. Now that I remember it, because I look back and I changed that day to realize I had to hide that guy that had feelings to become this guy that was
tough,
crazy. Because if you glorifying a 16-year-old that's just got murdered, like, that's okay. You're teaching the neighborhood that this is what we need to be. So the conversation was, Lil Moo got shot, but they talked about it like he was a hero. And so I want to hit on that because that's the program of all this gangbanging. Everybody is gangbanging because you're trying to become a hero. You're trying to become somebody. You want to be known as a figure. So instead of going to college, instead of being an actor, this is the easiest way out that you see, that you only know about. So if I become big so-and-so of this neighborhood, I become a hero. But what we're not understanding is that's a plan. Because when you become the hero, you have to be a villain to somebody.
Absolutely.
So if I'm going to somebody else's neighborhood and I'm come back to my neighborhood as a hero because I did something in their neighborhood, I just made myself a villain to them. So the cycle is somebody in that neighborhood becomes a hero to come look for you, the villain, to make you a victim. And once that cycle keep repeating itself, you could take out a whole neighborhood.
For decades.
For decades. And that's what this is about. The way the mindset has been created. And that had a profound impact on me, and I know it because I was only 11 years old, and this was 1979, but that year, I went to jail.
Same year.
Same year. Because I wanted to feel how he was feeling. He was dead, but I wanted that power of how he was feeling, of everybody talking about him, making this man a hero. And to this day, you got 60 years old talking about this dude that died at 16 as a hero. That's the power of the program of the mind. That's something you brought up to me. What is your mind telling yourself?
Mm-hmm.
People are running around glorifying that, man, and not realizing this dude died at 16. And we glorifying it. But the point of it is, it was a program. And I'm going to prove to you it's a program because right here on my phone, I never understood why my daddy, he made the paper, and I never understood why my daddy always kept this, this piece of the paper.
Right.
And here it is. I'm going to read it to y'all. But I'm reading it to show you that this was a program. And in this, it says the year's first gang-related slang. In the first reported gang-related slang of the year, a 16-year-old, southeast Los Angeles, was gunned down Thursday night following a battle between opposing youth at 91st and Orchard. Dead at the scene when police arrived was Andre Jones, who Southeast Division homicide detectives say was a youth gang member who invaded the territory of a rival gang. I'm emphasizing that because do you see how they wrote that up? They didn't write that up like that was a white kid getting murdered. They wrote that up like, wow. And I remember this because we looked at this like he made the paper. So that put on us. We want to make the paper. But to finish this, investigators say the victim and 3 fellow gang members was in the area to visit a friend shot in a previous gang battle when they was accosted by 19 members of the rival gang. Pay attention to the wording of this, bro. This is a program. Police report a fight between selected gang members. It was won by the invaders. But as Jones was leaving, a rival gang member fired 3 or 4 shots. Jones was fatally wounded in the back. Southwest homicide detectives are seeking the suspects. Figures released by the police department earlier this week indicate there were 40 gang-related homicides in 1978. Now, I'm going to prove to you that this was a program that we people are not seeing. Because 40 homicides in 78, those 40 went through the neighborhoods and programmed the neighborhood the same way it programmed me. This is how you survive. This is how you stay safe, become a gang member. 40 homicides. Now let's go to 1990. The crime rate of homicides in 1990, Los Angeles, LA, jumped up to 1,000. Why? Because of the introduction of crack cocaine epidemics in the 90s. Did y'all see what I'm trying to show you? That was a program to go in our mind. I'm a young 11-year-old. I understood it. Well, I didn't understand it then, but I see it now. Was to put the fear into us that that's who we were. We was coming from an area that we couldn't live in this area. Our fathers, our mothers bought these areas that was redlined, and they finally let us in. So to let us in, the program was put down to make them evil. So once we start killing ourselves, from 78 to 1990, you jump to over 1,000 homicides from 40. Do you see how many lives been affected?
Jump.
And where did the drugs come from? Think about that. It's been said that the CIA implanted these drugs in the neighborhood. You got to start wondering why and if it's true. But we have to start questioning this. Because right now, the homicide rate, I believe, is back down to maybe 150, 200. But they don't need the homicide rate high no more because the mind has been infected. You believe now that you're part of this surrounding. And the same people that grew up at that time, that grew up and now are not leading no lives that's worth nothing.
Right.
Because we was infected by that, bro. So now we got our youngsters, we got our kids, we got our grandkids joining this same mission to kill themselves and not seeing where it started. But I'm here to show you where it started. These 70s created it. It had to start small. Everything starts small.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the numbers and you follow it, from that year they went up to the crack cocaine epidemic. And when the crack cocaine epidemic came in, what happened? You come with the 3 strikes law. You start liking people up forever.
25 to life. Easy.
Why?
Program.
Follow the money.
Yep.
Prison system.
Program, yep.
You prioritize the prison system, they go on the stock market, they make money. If they're going to do that, then they need somebody to supply this. So who is the commodity to supply it?
Us.
I mean, we have to wake up, bro. That's all I'm saying. I always question why God left me here. But he showed me the plan. He woke me up to show me. You experienced this, now pay attention to what this was. This just didn't happen. These lives was taken to create something bigger. And that creation was money. Follow the money. But we are losing our lives on a daily basis and not knowing why. And it has to stop.
Right.
But we have to show the people. We have to tell the people. We have to bring the number and explain to you where this started, how it started, show you the demonic plan that was put in place because we're come from parents that come from the 60s that was segregated, that seen they couldn't walk into places because they was black. So all of a sudden, 10 years later, you thought they was going to just let us live free and happily. Here we are in 2024, and it's still not free. We have opportunities, but our mind is so corrupted. Well, we're not understanding. The write-up they did in that paper was glorifying that killing because I was in that time, and I remember kids saying, man, did you see the write-up? Man, he won that fight, and they shot him. But just the glorification of that fight was like, he was a Mike Tyson. And that put in the mind of the youngsters, I want to be like that. And that's what's happening now, but it's on a bigger scale. The scale has now went to the rap music. Glorified in the music, because if you program them with this, the thought in your head, it's going to be what you feed it.
Mm. And magnified, meaning to the world, to the masses.
Right. I mean, this is
even
deep.
Before the internet, but now, shit, it take a couple clicks, and you just.
No, you said something deep right there. Before the internet.
Yeah.
So we went from 40 murders to 1,000 murders before the internet, within a 10-year, 11-year period.
Mm-hmm.
Before the internet. So now we don't need the murders because we got the internet. You said something deep, bro.
Yeah.
We can program your children through what they watching.
Mm-hmm.
We can take away your belief. Because that kid got took away from me at 11 because now I have to realize for me to survive in this neighborhood, I need to be like that. Why? Because everybody glorifying that. They showing me this is what you need to be. And to go back, I didn't even go to the funeral. This is how much it affected me. Because I remember telling him I can't go to that funeral. I was 6th grade. 4th grade, girl got murdered in my class. Sodomized, kidnapped, found in the building. 5th grade, someone got murdered up the block. Now this here was personal because this dude lived on my street. So now it comes home, full circle, where now the echoes of my life is disappearing. Because what I'm seeing, we are here to die young. We are nobody. So for me to stay safe, I have to become part of this system. And this system is saying, you as a black man, go out and kill another black man if you want to be that hero. But at that time, I wasn't seeing that the hero becomes the villain. And the villain is being searched out to be the victim.
Which goes back to that one word, plan. Because I'm sure we didn't sit up and come up with this idea of we about to create this to kill each other off. All right, cool, let's do it. No. So that's what the whole all these different words that you can put on it, like brainwashed, bamboozle, you know what I'm saying? It was the plan. But see, now that we in the current and that's in the past, but now you focus on the current and the future, everything starts from a thought. So knowing that, I mean, we got to start using what we got. You know, the Creator gave us the gift to choose and think and even talk to ourselves. So at the end of the day, sometimes we might be 30, 20, 50, 60 before we actually wake up, meaning, oh, of course, on a surface level, you know your mind, you know how to think. No, I'm talking about deeper and going behind the surface and stuff like that, like even talking to yourself, actually, you know, talking to the Creator. But I'm talking about talking to yourself, meaning learning yourself. Yeah, so that's a question. How do you talk to yourself? Yeah, ask yourself that. And then also ask this question. What is your answer to whatever this question is that you asking yourself? Not the world, not him, her. No, yourself. Yeah.
Right.
What do you, yeah, and you can say it in your head, you can write it down. You don't have to speak it. No, but the question is, how do you talk to yourself? What's the answer? And then here's the solution part.
But we didn't have no solution. Let's go back to that.
What you gonna do about
Let's
it,
go back
though?
to that. Wait. The question was, this man died at 16.
Mm-hmm.
So the question in my head is, he's a hero. Do you want to be a hero? And if you want to be a hero, you got to follow the life he followed.
Right.
So the question just can't be changed. The question was, what did I see? What was my neighborhood putting to me?
Right.
Because the question in your head is trying to make you safe. But the only safeness you got is the environment you in. So if the environment you in is saying, we gang bang, then your safety is gang banging. So the spirit that's in you, that's questioning you, has got programmed.
Right, at that present time, yeah. Right. So that's why I said the current and the
we
future.
have to go back to that, because this is one of the problems. This is one of the problems here. We thinking, and we say this a lot, let the past be the past. And that's what's killing us.
Yeah, it's still a part, yeah. Because without the
past has shaped you.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the position you in now because the questions you asked yourself back then. And that question has came true to your life now. So you actually was praying for who you are now. And that prayer came true. So if you want to be something new tomorrow, you have to change that question in your head today. And the only way you're going to change that question is what you feed yourself. So if you're not willing to do the work and feed yourself something with power, meaning read your books, listen to your books, pick up that Bible, pick up that Quran, whatever your belief is. Then that question can be what your environment is. And that's what the people know.
Right.
I'm going to make that spirit talk to you through what you see, through what you hear. So if I keep feeding you negativity, then that voice in your head is feeding you negativity.
Right. And that's the third part. What you gonna do about it? So
Change your pattern.
yeah.
And how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
See, nothing changed like this. It's a process.
Right.
If I've been having this thought for 50 years, it's not going to change tomorrow.
Right.
The only thing going to change it really is the spirit coming to you and changing you. Now, if the spirit don't change you, you're going to have to do your studying yourself.
Right.
You're going to have to get determined. You're going to have to get disciplined. Because
What
when
are
you come in this...
intaking consciously, what are you intaking? Like what you reading, like how you say, what you listening to, because you can listen to books too, you can read them, but what are you intaking in your mind and in your brain, but the mind you can't see. So that's even deeper. So yeah, what are you doing? Because it don't just pop up overnight, and you don't just look up and it fall down on you. You got to put in some work. And that's why I say when you conscious of these things, that's why I said sometimes somebody might be all these different ages, 60 or whatever. But once you come to that point, that's the bottom line, being able to do all of these things. The spiritual, it all lines up. It's tri-nature. So you got to put in the work, the physical part, and read and get this knowledge, because you ain't just going to pop up. We all got everything in us. So just like Deuce, you bringing out what's in you. That's where education come from, the word. So that lets you know that you got everything in you. But the form of bringing out what's in you, that take work, because you got to put that in motion.
Well, let's go deeper on that. If I'm bringing out what's in me?
Everything.
If all I seen is murder and chaos,
Everything
then that's
you
in
see.
me.
Yep.
So how do I get new things in me? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we make this thing seem like it's so simple. And just because something's in me
Yeah, it's not simple.
doesn't mean it's going to come out if I'm not practicing it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I have to feed myself, because God
Say
cannot...
that again. Say that again.
What I'm saying again? Hit me with that. Because
that was deep. That's what I was like, say that one more time.
All right, well, you re-loop that, because
Man, the way you said it like you was Professor X or KRS-One or something. I was like, go on, man, come on, because you was...
Well, no, it's
You was on
real,
the move.
bro. It's real. We have to program ourselves to what we want to be. We can pray, but that praying takes action. God is telling us it's in you, but you have to program yourself, because I can't use you if all you putting in yourself is negativity. Even though I'm the higher power, I got to know you part of this journey. And if you part of this journey, you have to get disciplined enough to start feeding yourself, your computer. You have to put the software in you. So now I can pull it out of you and use it to change the world.
Right.
But you can't crip, blood, and kill, and prostitute, and then all of a sudden you want to change, because those spirits that's in you then, they still there. And it's what you're doing is you feeding the spirit of lust, of degradation, of murder, but you want my spirit to show up and overpower them. And you're not giving me no time. Give me time. Then I will show you what's in you. But if you give me no time, no dedication, and you want me to change you, bro,
It's a cold mission.
it's not going to happen. And I'm not saying God can do what he want to do. He's all powerful, all knowing, everywhere. He's all that. But he do want to know you with the cause. That you going to better his plan.
Right.
But if you just feeding yourself bullshit all day? Because you cannot take away your attention to put it over here on something that can better you, that can benefit you. Then when you look up and you look at your life and wonder why you are in this position, now that's go with what you said yesterday. There's nobody to blame.
Right.
But you.
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
You take your own blame, now you will start changing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't blame mama. I can't blame daddy. Yeah, I can see where it came from, but it's not a blame. I have to go in my past to see what was programmed in me. And if I never go in my past to see what's programmed in me, then I'm trying to change something. I don't even know what I'm changing.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to change what you don't know? You have to know what's inside of you.
Right.
And you have to question everything about you.
And you got to become unsatisfied with your current situation most of the time, because that's going to make you grow quicker. That's going to, how people say step out the box. But when you're uncomfortable and you're not blaming, you pointing the finger at yourself, not to hit yourself with the hammer, but you're doing it consciously. Like, how could I make myself better? You know what I'm saying? I ain't comfortable with this situation. I want to grow more. I want to continue to grow. Yeah, you got to continue to challenge yourself then, because it ain't just going to happen. So, yeah, you got to be uncomfortable with your current situation, and that's going to make you continue to grow. But you got to put in the work. You can't just say it and think it and say it. You have to put in that work, and then it's going to manifest. It's going to come to fruition. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, man.
There you go. All right, man, this podcast, I done lost my glasses and everything. Oh, man.
That's Maestro right there, man.
Wow, this is wild, bro. But no, we got to start paying attention to this, and we want to show the community, we want to show our people that you have been programmed to be this way, and if you're ready to break it, you have to start doing the work. You can't keep blaming the man. Who is the man? You keep blaming the man. All you're doing by blaming the man is showing your fear of the man that you consider the man.
Mm-hmm. Whoever the man is.
Right. And that's the program that's coming from your parents, your uncle, your aunt. They're always telling you the man controls the job you get, controls the loan you get. Okay, maybe that was true in the past, but today we can change things if we're ready to change it. But we have to believe, and we have to go clean up our credit. We have to go make the choice to start the business. We have to put in motion the wheels. If we don't do none of this,
action,
then yeah, you're going to keep blaming the man. It's time to stop blaming the man.
Yep.
It's time to start taking your own blame and see you are where you are because of the choices you made. And every choice you had a choice to make that choice, no matter what it was. Someone put a gun in your face. You got a choice right there to run or give it up. You got a choice to say, kill me. You got a choice to give up whatever you want. It's still a choice. It may not be the choice you want, but you always got a choice. So you got a choice to pick up that book. You got a choice to pick up that Bible. You got a choice to pick up that Quran. You got whatever you study, you have a choice. You have a choice to turn that music to negativity. Start making the right choice if you want to change. Because I see the destruction of where I came from and what it done to me. And I'm ready to tell my story. There's no holding back. I have to. Because this is killing our community. It's killing our people. And my choice for here on out is a choice of love.
LOVE. More love, more life. Peace.
All we need is love to make it through another day. All we need is